Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Matthew Joseph, the Director of Digital Learning, Technology, and Innovation in the Milford Public Schools. Thanks for viewing past MPS talks and continue tuning in because we have some great topics coming up this year. 2 weeks ago, I was lucky enough to be part of the Actum Learning Conference. Actum stands for Association of Computer Using Educators of Maine. I saw 5 amazing educators complete an Ignite presentation. Those educators are Eric Butash, Susie Brooks, Mike Arsenal, Dan Ryder, and Eric Lawson. Their Twitter handles are below. Check them out. I was inspired to see their efforts and knowledge, and I am motivated by challenges, and I said the next MPS talks, I was going to do an Ignite presentation myself. So before I start my presentation, I will explain what an Ignite presentation is. I didn't know. I had never heard it before, and now I am excited to try it and present in that style today. Ignite is a presentation format where the presenter speaks while the slides advance automatically to support the presentation. An Ignite presentation is exactly 5 minutes and contains exactly or only 20 slides. The slides advance automatically after each slide is displayed for 15 seconds. Think about enlightening the audience, but making it quick. So presenters need to be on time with the messaging and ready to keep moving forward because the slides are playing. Ignite presentations came from Brady Forrest, technology specialist for O'Reilly Media, and Bree Pettis of Make Magazine. They developed the Ignite format in 2006 as a way for the Seattle tech company to get together, socialize, and share their personal and professional passions. Ignite was born out of this desire to combine amazing big ideas with networking. With only 20 slides, a presenter must make important decisions about introduction, body, conclusions, and there's an emphasis on cutting and reducing. This was tough, but a great exercise. This was also an educational task for me as well, because strong presenters know that refining a presentation allows the audience to receive, hear, and digest only the most important information. A good Ignite presentation is like good presenters should leave the audience satisfied but still hungry for more. So I hope after today, you will create an Ignite presentation and share it with all of us. In Milford educators, I'll be happy to help you develop one. You will see the presentation over my right shoulder, and I will try to keep up with those 15 seconds. I know we talk a lot about educators taking risks, and I wanted to do one myself by taking a risk today. So I'm going to walk over, I'm going to start the presentation now, and I'll be ready to ignite in 15 seconds. All right, so we're going to start in 15 seconds. It's hot in here, so I'm going to take off my jacket, get a little bit more comfortable. And you're going to see the slide start over my right shoulder with the first slide. It says active. Too often in education, we talk about buzzwords. So my Ignite will be to define and give you a visual picture of what active learning is. I mean, I could just tell you what it means, but nah, I'm not going to do that because just telling you is not active learning. So stay tuned. Check out how 2 people much smarter than this guy describe the power of being involved when we learn. That's interesting. However, I'm not sure that they went to BC for their EDD. Go Eagles, super fan. Now, do we involve learners in education? Think about this. If we need to get in shape, do we hire a trainer and watch him or her work out? And voila, we're in shape? That would be awesome. Because I know I've watched a lot of golf and some golfers, and I've still struggled to break 100. Well, Captain Obvious, that is because to get in shape, a trainer or coach has to show an exercise or drills developed from their expertise and then work with that person to get better. That sounds like a great idea. Well, if that's such a great idea, why are teachers doing the heavy lifting instruction? Kids don't come to school to watch teachers work. So why are we mostly teaching in that style? Wait till you see this classroom of the 50s. Take a look at it. Does it look like a classroom in your school? Think about it. Desks, rows, teachers in the front of the classroom, books out. Interesting. Think about that. Okay, a few movie references for you. Bueller, anyone? Anyone? Boring? Gotta love Ben Stein. But I'm sorry if you fell asleep there for a minute because that was a boring 15 seconds. Well, this teacher will wake me up. Great movie, Jack Black in School of Rock. Strip away the total lack of teaching talent or a clue of what to do. He just formed a band and let the kids learn. Interesting. Well, he definitely increased student participation and engagement, content retention, student ownership. Now that sounds like a classroom, an exciting classroom experience I would like to be a part of. So I'm going to talk to you about Edgar Dale. He researched active learning and found that students tend to remember 90% of what they say or did. So like active learning. How interesting. But they only remember 10% of what they read, 20% of what they heard, and 30% of what they saw. So take this iceberg. The section above the water is like surface or rote learning, and the deep learning is the section below the water. And that looks like about 90%. Remember, students tend to remember 90% of what they say or do. And when students feel empowered, they feel like the king of the classroom. So hold the phone for a minute. Like making movie references to spark real-life connections and maybe even trigger a laugh or a smile because you remember where you were when you saw one of these movies or who you were with. Well, that's interesting. So I've talked a lot about active learning and linked it to educators providing a genuine interest and motivation for students. So do educators do this? And if not, how do we start? So for the next 15 seconds, reflect on this slide for a minute because some of these activities are a great way to start to move to active learning. But remember to have clear outcomes with what you do. I often use the analogy that we have to move from triage education to a more strategic and organized learning environment, like this operating room here. Hold on, now I'm using real-life connection to support learning. Let's talk about how to make the shift to an active learning environment. So first, start with identifying a topic and questions. For example, if your topic is water pollution, like you see here, is the Mississippi River polluted? What are acceptable levels? Who decides these levels? And is there a single right answer? Next, plan and design the activity to actively and give students specific instructions before the lesson. Remember, operating room, strategic, hashtag making connections. So in the planning stage, I always try to incorporate the 4 C's to advance learning and teaching. Turn to the 4 C's, collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking. Next, identify the sequence of active learning events to meet objectives to support your learners and how they're going to learn. And don't forget, after lesson, make sure you reflect on the process and student outcomes. Whew. So, 19 slides in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I hope you have an idea what active learning is. And also, never forget to have fun. And stop doing the heavy lifting and be more like the fitness trainer. You got this. Whew, wow, that was tough and it was fun in trying to move back and forth to look at my presentation and the camera. So I hope you try one for yourself. And again, I'm happy to work together with any of our educators to make this happen and post it on Twitter. We'd love to see some of those and try some ourselves. Take risks, we talk about that all the time. And I tried one myself today with one take and just go right through it. So have a great afternoon. Enjoy the active learning Ignite. Thank you to those 5 amazing educators that made it possible to motivate me and push me. And don't forget to continue to follow @Milford_Tech and keep tuning in to MPS Talks.
There's something in your heart.